In Rico's haste to get revenge for the attack on Camino, he didn't stop to think of the possibility that it could be a trap. So, as Rico's army moved further into the Geonosian planet, they noticed droids occasionally watching them from afar, but they never attacked. A day after the initial landing, Flak was extracted due to an injury incurred, while Captain Rex was dropped off in order to take over operations of the 501st Legion. Rex decided to set up an operating base and then send LAAT gunships forward to scout out positions. However, suddenly the gunships ran out of gas and made an emergency landing. The clones realized it was likely sabotage and set up a defensive ring to hold out against the droids that would surely come for them. Hey guys, what's going on? Daily Tactics here, and I am back with another episode of Star Wars Ricos Brigade. I believe this is Season 2, Episode 4. Now, in this episode, in the previous episode, we saw that there was an initial attack on Geonosis, and then after that, the clones began to see droids popping up in different places. Some of them thought they were crazy, some of them thought, oh, it's just a mirage, whatever. But it turns out the droids were actually scoping out the enemy, and they also took out all of the fuel from the LAATs so that when Captain Rex, the newly appointed general of the 501st Army on Geonosis, decided to send a convoy of LAATs forward, they ran out of fuel. So now these LAATs had to make an emergency landing and are now surrounded by battle droids who set up this trap. Luckily, the clones sort of realized, hey, this is probably not a coincidence, and it's probably a sort of ambush attack, so let's break out the defenses and set up. So that's what they did here in this sort of rectangular formation. They're trying to funnel the droids in the front because this is where the main droid attack is coming from, is the very front over here. Although there are a few dispatches of droids on the sides as well who are going to be coming forward. Also, now the clones are members of the 501st, of course, and they have some sniper rifles, they have DC-15As, they have DC-15Ss. They're pretty well equipped, and they've set up a nice little defense. But the droids have numeric advantage here. They've got quite a number of these Geonosian droids, all of which are equipped with E5s, which is the standard CIS weapon, and they're coming from multiple directions, which makes it even more difficult for the clone troopers. Regardless, let's see how this goes, and let's go ahead and press start here. And as we can see, the battle droids are beginning to move forward. Hopefully on all sides. Yes, indeed, on all sides. And the clones wait patiently for the attack to begin. Probably pretty antsy right now before the battle. Ooh, it looks like the battle has actually begun, and the first droids have begun firing over here on this left flank. Many of them are going down quite quickly, but they're getting some return fire on these clones. I don't think they'll get many kills, if any, from these flank attacks. I think they should have waited until the main force of droids made it to the front, but now the main force of droids is at the front. A few of them are going down, but they are suppressing the droids quite nicely. Sorry, suppressing the clones quite nicely. Very little clone fire is actually being shot out from the front lines here, and the droids are being able to advance and capitalize off of that. Looks like this left flank over here is completely dead for the droids, and the right one over here is slowing down. There's a few droids just ducking behind the lip of this mini hill, but they're getting shot at pretty persistently, and I think they're going to go down relatively fast. They did take out one clone right there, but other than that, they didn't do a ton of damage except for a bit of a distraction, I would say. Battle droids on the front, though, have done a good amount of work against the clone troopers who are trying to hold the front line here. Like I said before, many of them are getting suppressed, and we've talked about this previously, but suppression is the worst thing that can happen in situations like this in this game. Basically, once your troops get suppressed and they stop being able to return fire, the enemy can just advance further and further and further until they're literally on top of you. And at that point, there's not a lot you can do. You pretty much just get absolutely crushed. So it looks like the front line here is completely wiped out, and now it is up to the clones in the back. But they do have a lot of defense left, and they are whittling down the droids slowly by slowly, getting a kill here or there. We can see the dead bodies that get left behind. So it's really, as long as they continue to at least get some fire out there, killing some battle droids every so often, the closer the droids get, the more effective the clones will also be, because they'll be able to start grenading and they will be more accurate. So it's a tough and persistent game that the clones have to play right now. And they're doing a fairly decent job. They've also got this hillside, which defending hills is always a good thing. And so the frontline defenses may have fallen, but I have good faith in the backline defenses. Additionally, there's also a bunch of clones back here who really aren't even being utilized right now because they can't quite yet. Looks like grenades actually did go off. I think that might have been on the clone position, though, which is a shame to see. But yeah, more grenades are actually being thrown by the battle droids, just trying to clear out some of these clone blockades here and there. Actually managing to kill a few of their own right there, but you know, what can you do? They're battle droids. They're not the brightest. Things are actually not looking too great for the clones. They're really getting steamrolled by these Geonosian battle droids who, you can tell they're Geonosian because they've got the special sort of sand camouflage armor, which I just think is absolutely epic. But I have faith that the clones, once the droids reach this point, the clones will become a bit more effective of a fighting force, simply because they'll be at the top of the hill and the clones will be able to shoot them as they crest upwards. You see it's already sort of happening right here. And that'll be a weakness for the droid lines. Hopefully, we'll see that. I'm not totally sure. A few of the LAATs are actually getting toasted by some grenades and light arms fire, most likely. But yeah, more droids are going down. Not a ton. The clones really need to start laying down the lines here. I think these snipers are going to be very, very effective at this point. Even though it's closer range, they just have such a high-powered weapon that one shot can probably take away half of the droid's armor, and I think they're going to be quite key here. More LAATs burning as they get struck by fire. More droids are going down, actually. We are seeing larger groups of droids getting butchered here. But we're also seeing more clones go down, so it's a bit of a sticky situation for the Republic right now. Not really the Republic, Ricos Brigade. You know what I mean. But the clones are still making a nice stand. They're not out of the woods yet, but they're also they're fighting back. They're doing a good job. I still have faith they'll be able to maybe come out of this. The droid lines are thinning quite a bit, and they are getting stalled out right here, which is good to see. Once they stop advancing so hard, you know that the defenders have finally laid down a bit more of a suppressive fire, and they're being a bit more effective with their shots. But the clones are actually dwindling in their numbers quite a lot now. And since this is Rico's Brigade, I am allowed to maneuver them, so I am just going to real quick get them behind cover, because they were facing this way to face the flankers, but now they really should just be completely behind cover. They shouldn't be exposed like this. So let's just get them into more effective positions here, where they can do a little bit better, I think, if they are like this. Actually, that might have... Do we think that has the reverse effect? Because now they have a place where they can actually, like, lean against. I think that actually might be the case. While most of the times I would say having cover is more effective than not, in this case I think it's actually preventing them from firing as much, because they're behind cover. It gives the soldier the option to be suppressed. And since now that they're more out in the open, they don't have that option, and they're actually getting more fire down, which is killing more battle droids and keeping the battle droids at bay a little bit more. It's a bit of an interesting theory, but I do think it's true, and I do think putting these guys back like this is actually the smart move, although now they are perishing quite a bit. I think it was a mistake of mine to take them out of that position in the first place. I just didn't realize that would occur. And now the battle droids, as we can see, are making a little bit more moves forward, beginning to advance again. It's not good to see. It means the clone lines are failing a little bit more. And this ambush has been incredibly successful by the battle droids. And there we go. That's the end of the 501st right there. Well, this particular part of the 501st, the droids put on a successful ambush right there. Really quite successful, actually. Uh, they managed to wipe out an entire clone force right there that was sent forward and capture all of these gunships, which they'll probably scrap for their own cause, make more battle droids out of them. Let's go ahead and check the statistics real quick. So yellow are the dead clone troopers, red are the dead battle droids. And don't get me wrong, the clone troopers did a great defense here. They really did chop up a lot of battle droids and uh, destroy many of them. However, they of course lost. So there is something to be said about that. And let's not forget about these flankers who completely failed their mission. I guess they did serve as a distraction, which was good for the battle droid cause, but they did fail at really getting any kills. I think they got one, which isn't that impressive. Either way, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this week's Ricos Brigade episode. I know it was a bit of a shorter one, but I'm trying to do more story driven and longer episodes every few weeks and then shorter ones in between. Just that way I don't get burnt out, and I also keep the storyline going and keep the battles coming, because I know a lot of you guys really watch it for the battles and not always the story driven episodes. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Comment, rate, and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.